love when you get like a fan of one team who gets a fan of the rival. They're both adults, not children, adults, and they're trying to have an adult conversation. You know, the one adult to the other adult, and then they act like children. It's so cute. Steve is a Cowboys fan, and Charlie, our last guest, was a Giants fan, and Charlie's about 3 inches away from Steve right now, and they're very excited because there's a potential playoff matchup this year, right? Who do the Cowboys? You have a bye, or who do you play?
A bye, yeah.
First week you have a bye. Giants are playing Green Bay. In Green Bay, at Lambeau, 6 degrees, on a tundra that will most likely be frozen.
Yes.
That's, and then you don't know who you play in the second.
We're not sure yet.
Right. Alright, this will be good. But you got Dax.
They're a good team.
Get a good team. You got a decent offensive
That's the
line.
best team they've had in years.
Yeah.
I think the bye helps a lot for these young guys.
Yeah,
They're not used to playing this many games in a year.
Right.
2 weeks off does this team a lot of good, I think.
And more the veterans, I think, need, like the Giants, when they come off bye weeks, they're terrible. But I feel like, we said with the younger guys, definitely makes sense.
This is a long season.
Just a bunch of heavyweight bodybuilders talking about football. Did you ever play football?
Yeah.
Where'd you play position?
Yeah, quarterback.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
High school.
High school and then 1 year in college.
You played quarterback at Harvard?
I played on the freshman team.
Wow.
They were great. I mean, I have to say, this is before they were what they are now. I mean, Fitzpatrick on the Jets is a Harvard grad.
Yeah.
So they had
And
guys.
look how well
They had
he
guys
did.
in the NFL. The guys that when I got there, they were good. I mean, they were very good, but they weren't NFL guys.
Right.
10 years. Fast forward 10 years from when I graduated in '94,
And they could
and
be.
now they have NFL guys. I mean,
Right, right.
it was a real deal. They were good.
Wow. And were they all really smart? I'm always curious how the athletes
Oh,
at
yeah,
Harvard are.
everybody is.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, everyone's.
Such a Harvard guy to be like, I don't know if there's some, we never talked about smart things. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, at Binghamton, we were all exchanging our IQs. So I was like, what's your IQ? No, I'm just kidding. No. We're back here with Steve Wally. Steve owns Brew USA, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Which is an all-American top-to-bottom lager that is out and will soon be made at his microbrewery in Freeport, Long Island, which will be really, really cool. But it's more than just, hey, here's a new beer, try a little bit. What's your tagline? What's your selling point? What do you tell people?
Yeah, so I mean, we definitely respect all the new beers coming out, and everyone's got passion for their company, and as do we. But we think our store is a little bit different than others. We're all American made, we're all American owned, and we donate 25% of our profits back to veteran charities.
Why?
Well, probably the biggest reason is close to my own heart. My dad did 2 tours in Vietnam. He's not with us anymore. Anyway, miss your dad. But it's always been something close to my heart, and a little bit of a regret of mine that I didn't give a couple of years of service of myself. But that being said, it's never too late to do something, and there's certainly plenty of troops, soldiers, veterans that could use a little bit of help. We're happy to do it.
So quick recap here. Steve was sitting around with a bunch of guys. He was a big Wall Street guy back in the 2000s. I don't even know what you call that decade. And just hanging out, chilling, having a beer. Went up to get an American beer and couldn't find one because Bud, Miller, and Coors are now all brewed overseas for the most part.
Owned overseas.
And owned overseas, rather. Sorry, owned overseas. So he said, "Enough is enough. We're gonna make a beer." And his friends were like, "You're drunk." And he said, "No, watch me." And a couple years later, you guys are brewing. You're right. You are.
Well, we're just about to brew our own. We contract brewed in the beginning
Right.
for the first couple of years, just to kind of learn the business and to see if, what kind of resonation the story had with people. And we felt like there was enough. And we learned enough about the business, put a plan together, and said, we really feel good about doing this. So now here we are.
So when does the microbrewery open in?
The microbrewery is, construction's probably 98% done. And if we are able to make the beer, let's say first ingredients hit the vat, hit the brewer in the next 2 weeks, we could be open in 6 or 8 weeks.
Nice.
So that's what we're hoping for.
And where can people buy your beer right now that it was brewed elsewhere? But like if somebody wanted to buy, where do we?
You can't buy it right this second, but a couple of the places that did carry it when we contract brewed it and that will carry going forward are Stu Leonard's in Yonkers, Stu Leonard's also opened up another grocery store in Farmingdale, which is only
Okay.
about 20 minutes away from our brewery.
Very local.
And we've kept in touch with them all this time, and they were, they've been more than patient. They said, we can't wait to get you guys back in here.
Nice.
They're a big fan of the local story in general, and what's more local than a brewery 20 minutes away?
Right.
So that's one. We're also working on some partnerships with Applebee's and Hula Hands as well. And that's not to mention the scores of other distributors across the state of New York. Some in the city, Gun Hill Beer up in the Bronx was a great partner from the very beginning, helped us with deliveries all over the place. Plus we did great in that area in the Bronx. Champs Beverage in Staten Island was great. Eddie, a little shout out to Ed. They loved us in Staten Island. They loved us in Staten Island. It's a lot of fun going to do tastings, which I did a lot of.
Yeah.
I did a ton at Stu Leonard's. Just a great opportunity to be interacting with people and tell them the story, because it's very quick to sell. It's very quick to tell the story. American made, American owned, 25% back to veterans. Here's a try. And the 12 packs are right there, ready to buy.
So there's a break though between you ran out your contracts with
Yeah.
having other people brew it, and now you're going to sort of brew it yourself and
Right.
get ready for it.
Right.
You're making a light beer.
We're going to make a light beer.
Is that just for me or because other people?
It's not just for you.
Okay,
It's-
just making sure.
I mean, most craft brewers are a little bit not into the light.
Why? Bud Light. Oh,
That's not
craft
craft.
is
That's
it?
not craft.
That's a lager.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm learning. You see
Exactly.
what's happening here?
Absolutely,
This is the education
absolutely.
process.
It's not just the ladies that are asking for this.
But as someone who now understands how to make beer, what makes a beer light?
Water.
Oh, so more water in it?
It's just water.
Is that why when my friends taste my beer, they think I'm
it's
basically
it's
just
a
drinking
little
water?
bit watered down.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's watered down. I actually think it's delicious.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey,
I
we
love the
we all
taste.
drink water.
Right,
Right.
right.
So what? I mean,
Okay.
no, that's what we. I mean, that's what me and my partner Tom Limerick. That's what we prefer.
Right.
We prefer the light beers. I mean, if you're going to have a lot of them, not that we ever do, but
Why
if
would
you're going to have a lot of them, some of the heavier beers are a little bit too hard to handle. The higher alcohol content, plus you're full.
Yeah.
So we definitely have had so many requests for a light beer from the very beginning. And just a little bit of background on regular beer versus light beer. We'll just use Bud and Bud Light as an example. Some of the other craft beers are a lot stronger. They'll be 7, 8, 10, 12% alcohol. Well, most lager beers, traditional macro lager beers, are 5% alcohol. And the light beers will be around 4% alcohol. And that seems like nothing.
Yeah.
A 5 to 4 is a huge difference.
Oh, really?
Yes, absolutely. If you have 3 Budweisers versus 3 Bud Lights, it's not the same feeling at the end.
Get out of here.
Absolutely not.
That's interesting.
Any Bud Light drink will tell you the exact
It's
same
like
thing.
the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And these other guys that have like one a year.
So, what's the progression here now? So, you start this microbrewery. Where do you guys see yourselves a year out?
That's a great
Distribution-wise,
question.
everything.
So distribution-wise, we'll have New York handled.
Awesome.
We're going to be adding. We're going through the process right now, paperwork-wise, in New Jersey.
Okay.
We're going to do the same thing in Connecticut. We're going to do the same thing in Pennsylvania and New Hampshire, which we already kind of got rolling with the contract brewer. And beyond that, we'll be building another brew SA. We're going to try to replicate this platform that we started in Freeport. So by no means do I think this is the last one.
So
it's only the first.
basically, there's no way you're going back to Wall Street. This is it. You're in it.
I'm still there, 1 foot in.
You got 1 foot in.
I'm still there, 1 foot in.
Okay.
I like it. I don't love it. This I love.
All right.
I
Good.
look forward to the day that it's.
That the 2 feet are right here. Right. where you
Exactly. So maybe the next one might be in New Jersey. Maybe the next one might be a little further south.
are. Okay.
But I think what we learned is that the whole process, even if we found the perfect building, one of the partners needs to be very close. Now Tom's 3 miles away from the brewery, and I tip my cap. Thanks for doing all you do. It's unbelievable how much work is going on to get this place up and running. But somebody's got to be there almost every day.
Right.
And the next one, I'll be that guy.
Okay.
So it's got to be somewhat close.
Okay.
I mean, an hour drive isn't the end of the world, but if something's, hey, we need you to come down here real quick, 15, 20 minutes away
Is where you need to
is
be.
a lot better. And
Okay.
I don't envision the family moving. The kids are very happy.
What do you liken the taste to? So if people are thinking to themselves, what's this beer going to taste like? Is there another beer that you would say it's sort of
It's
close
a good
to?
question because a lot of times when I was doing the tastings and introducing the beer, people would say, well, what does it taste like? I go, well, why don't you taste it first and then you tell me what you
Right.
think. If I had to do it like that, I would say it's a sweeter bud. Not a lot, but a little.
Okay.
Sweeter. It's got a little bit more taste than bud.
Okay.
I've heard people say, like, the most common is probably, it tastes like Boston Lager, Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Oh,
we
Sam
hear,
Adams.
We hear a lot of that. There's a couple of craft brewers that I like that I thought tasted like, well, Brew SA tasted like it, or vice versa, however you want to say it. Henry Weinhardt's was one of them. It was actually featured on Gold Rush like
Okay.
a couple years in the season finale. I found this beer in New Jersey and I said, let me try it. It tasted like Brew SA. And I think it was because they used Mount Hood hops,
Okay.
which is what we use also. I think that was the reason why. Really, I mean, it was tasted almost the same.
Wow. All
It
right.
was really good. Let's see the other one. No, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's,
Okay.
But that's not someone you can. That doesn't help you because you probably haven't had it.
I
Right?
have not had that.
Right.
But generally, a lager is going to taste different than a craft beer. It's right.
A lager. You see, we're going to be a craft company because of the amount of production that we do.
Okay.
Where I think we're not going to be totally craft is that we're actually going to make a lager and a light. The craft beer companies tend to kind of shy away from the lagers.
Those are the IPAs.
Well, you have lager is lager.
No, the
okay?
crafts.
And then the crafts are, yeah, exactly. Mostly IPAs, double IPAs. They'll try
Triple
some-
IPAs?
You know, they're quadruple. I mean,
Quadruple
if there's a 3, there's a
IPAs.
4. If there's a 4, there's a 5. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know where it is. I mean,
Okay.
at a certain point, it feels like
Enough with the
it feels
A's.
like it's not even beer.
Right.
It feels like it might not even be like just me. I mean, we might try this.
Yeah.
If people like it, we're happy to make it. But like a blueberry ale, that's not my own personal cup of tea.
Right. Like the apple ciders. That's not really.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I mean, hey, drink whatever you like. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. So we will try to appeal to the craft crowd. I mean, we did bring in a brewer. I had one of the head brewers from Dogfish Head, Wayne Milford. So he's got a lot of experience
Yeah.
in those type of beers, American Pale Ale, IPAs, and so on and so forth. But we don't want to really tweak the original too much.
With America's new fascination, not new, with ongoing fascination with wine, and there's wine everywhere, and everyone's got a local vineyard, have we seen sort of a pull away from beer, or is America as into beer? I mean, you must have done a copious amounts of research preparing for whether there's a market for this.
There's definitely, I mean, craft brewing in the last, I want to say probably the last 6 years, I might be off on a couple of years. Let's go back even further. Let's say 15 years ago, I think there were 500 brewers in the United States. There's almost 5,000 now.
Wow.
And they're not all Budweiser, but you know, a little guy opens up a 5-barrel system. We have a 15, which is pretty good size for a startup, but opens a 5-barrel, maybe even a 3-barrel system, and that's counted as a brewery. So of those 5,000, they're nowhere near
Right.
the huge. That being said, they're still there brewing beer,
Yeah.
and they're still selling beer. So, I mean, it's definitely changed a lot. But when you look at the distribution of beer, the breakdown of who drinks what, even in the beer drinkers, still the vast majority is lager.
Right.
The big companies still take almost 85% of the market. So, I mean, I think a lot of people sneer their nose at Bud, like, who could drink that? Well, I mean, they sell 200 million cases of just Bud a year.
Did I mention on the show what I drink that my partner laughs at me for?
They don't try.
I used to drink Mick Ultra until I realized there's really not that many fewer calories than any other light beer. It's just the way they sold it, and I was such a sucker for that. Now I have a 6-pack of Bud Light Lime in my fridge.
Bud Light Lime.
Now I know that for
That's
you
fine.
that's like a Fisher Price beer.
That's
But
fine.
let me tell you, that's what I love. That, and I used to love like an Amstel Light or a Coors Light. Now it's Bud Light Lime.
Hey,
That's my
nothing
thing.
wrong with that.
Right? Nothing wrong with
Of
it.
course not.
No.
If it's easy to drink and you like the taste of it, I mean, so what? We're gonna make a light too. We're not.
Listen, Steve, I want to get to the point where I go to a bar and I say, let me get a Brew USA Light, a Brew SA Light. That's what I want to say.
You're gonna have that.
Okay.
You're gonna have that.
I have to roll it off my tongue.
You get there though.
I
That's
am.
fine. Yeah, I mean,
It's
but
a really
I would never hate on someone for saying Brew USA. It's still got USA in it.
Right, of course, but it's
That's
a really
totally fine.
smart. It's a really smart name.
Isn't it funny how really smart things come out of really not smart like situations?
Oh, 100%. Welcome to my life.
What
Are you familiar with my life?
Thank
Did
you.
you see the show? Have you seen the show?
I have. I watched it for you.
Yeah, this a smart show came out of Lance and me. Like, have you met Lance and me? Like,
It's
we're barely
Seinfeld.
getting by.
What?
See?
Like Seinfeld. We didn't do a show.
Like Seinfeld.
What's
My
that about?
whole life is about nothing. My whole life is a Seinfeld
Perfect
episode.
idea. Perfect idea.
What?
My whole life is about Jenna.
And his whole life is about me. And it's really quite wonderful. It's good. It's a really good.
4 hours every day. You gotta like each other.
4 hours.
Wow.
You're all part of it for 4 hours a day. I get
He's
to.
in it a little bit longer than that.
I'm doing this a little bit longer during the day.
But I appreciate that, and so is Connor. But without my
We got
wit,
it.
you wouldn't have this 4 hours.
There you go. You bring in the
100%.
content.
I got to.
Bring it.
I must.
Bring in the content.
Somebody has to.
Ain't gonna be me.
That's true. Charles Wally owns Brew SA. Is that right?
Steve Wall.
I'm sorry. I
Charles
just
Well,
said,
you're kind
I
of-
just
I mean,
had Charlie in
Charlie
here.
is definitely
Sorry.
bigger than me.
I'm looking at body
So maybe-
type,
no,
and I
maybe-
just
yeah, that's
said.
what it was.
I said, I love the fact that you haven't given up on your entire life. Like you're a father, you have 3
Yeah.
kids, like you have a family, you're still going to the gym, like you still are maintaining other things, but you know that this is something you absolutely love, and it like thrills me to no end to see how much passion you have for this. You light up when you talk about it. It's obviously a product you're very, very excited about. I'm excited too. I love, that's what we're doing. We're starting something new and exciting here, and we're convinced this is going to work
Right.
the same way. You're so
I love it.
convinced.
I would love to come back if
I
you have me.
want
When
you
we
to come
have it.
back. Can you
We'll have
bring
one,
him
we'll have
here?
one.
Can we drink
As soon as we
over
have it, I
here?
want to come back. If
And
it's
actually,
invited, I would love to.
You're 100%
Okay,
invited.
great, okay.
We should mention that if anyone is out by the Nautical Mile in Long Island, out near Freeport, these guys are opening their microbrewery, so you can come in and actually watch it all
Oh,
be
yeah.
made and take place. And
Sit right at the bar, you'll see all the fermenters are right there, right where it gets brewed, right where it gets fermented, right where the bright tanks clean it up at the end. It's all right there.
I love it.
Daryl Ronaldo says, Steve Wally, tell Jenna to come to Freeport and drink a Brew SA lime.
No problem. No, whoa, Brew SA line. Oh, all right, we're gonna have to add that to the product list.
Let me tell you something. I've never been to Freeport. Brew SA Lime, I'm there, dude. Giddy up.
We should actually do a show from there one day. It's a nice facility.
I would do it right at the bar. Why don't you do it right at the bar and see everything
Yeah.
It's
behind
great.
it?
I mean, if I'm here, I'd love to even give the shout. There's so many good restaurants down there.
Do it. Give a couple restaurants for
E.B.
people.
Elliott's is a great place. Tropics on the Mile, Hudson's on the Mile, Nolan's. You have Bamboo, River House Grill.
Oh my God.
There's so many great places.
I'm
there.
already hungry. Already
Yeah,
hungry.
and one restaurant's better than the other. I mean,
That's
it's one
awesome.
after the other. You really can't survive down there without good quality food. It's really good.
I love it.
Good Clef Crab Shack. Oh, I'm just like
Crab
that.
Shack with
Yeah.
some Brew SA beer? What's what?
Some shrimp parm with a roll.
Oh.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, get you right there.
Even with the bread.
I'll take the bread. I'll take the bread.
I mean, the bread,
Are you off bread now? Is the New Year resolution? Is it resolution? No, okay, not off bread. Just wanted to make sure.
No.
Alright, just want to make sure. And what are you benching, by the way? I figure we're all sharing it.
Not 545.
That is ridiculous.
That's insane.
I mean, that's
I
crazy.
don't know, 320.
That's amazing.
I don't like benching.
How old are you? 30?
Come on.
No, of course you're obviously not. But that's my point. Is that neither of us are 30. No, that was not.
That was good. I like that.
Right?
I didn't know how you.
She knows how to work it.
What a great compliment.
Of course
44.
it is. 44.
44.
And you're benching 300 plus pounds. That's amazing.
I can spell 300 plus pounds.
Not even very well. Like sometimes he gets.
I would need the
pounds
numbers.
wrong.
I would
Yeah,
go
you would need the
300.
numbers. Steve, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. Really excited about this latest chapter, and we're excited to sort of see how it all unfolds, and especially excited that you're going to make Brew
Oh,
SA
wait,
Lime. I
John-
didn't know that. That's amazing.
We can
John from Cherry Hill just checked in.
Awesome. Thank you, John. So I was
Come back from-
complimenting you and Lance.
I'm sorry, you can go back to compliments.
No.
When John from Cherry Hill's arrived.
That's right,
Just
John,
many
thank you.
compliments.
Meeting
Can I
you
say,
here.
can I say hi to my wife? I don't know.
You-
We're on a live show.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being on board with this. I appreciate it.
Tell me about the kids.
I
How
know
many
it's a
three
lot of work.
kids?
Hi, Fiona. She's a senior in high school, going to college next year. Ella's a junior. Ella's a freshman in high school. And my little guy, JR's in 5th grade. Hey, guys.
So cute. Dad's the bomb. Like, killed it on Wall Street, Leo DiCaprio. Killing it in the beer industry. Like, how cool's your dad? My dad makes buttons. Not that there's anything wrong with
Nothing
that.
wrong with it.
Okay? Not that there's
Everyone
anything
needs
wrong.
button makers.
It's, if we all need buttons, how we gonna close our codes?
That's right.
Thanks a million. Come back and join us
Thank
again.
you. That was
Have a
great.
great one. All right. Take a
I
break.
got a question.
Yeah.
Does the facility give tours
Yes, absolutely.
when it opens, or is it even now?
Now you kind of, there's almost always someone down there. Now we're going through the last part of it, but when we're open, there'll definitely be tours.
So go down there. Come down there.
Definitely.
We'll go down there. Let's be
Our
down there.
first Jenna's champion.
Yes. This is what sponsorship looks like, guys. This is how it looks. We want to taste the product, though. Just
I
letting you
can't
know.
wait
Just
for
letting
it.
you know.
I
What
really
you want
can't
to
wait.
see, Steve, is me drunk. There is nothing more entertaining.
I don't think I'm gonna need to bring that much product.
Half a bottle of light beer. No, it's okay. Awesome. All right, we'll be back in a little bit, guys.
Thank you. No, that's great.
Easy, right?
It's so easy. It's you. It's all you. I mean,
Oh,
piece
did
of-
you
Thanks,
hear that,
John.
Lance?
that's a
Yes.
piece of cake.
God, you're wearing blue.